Hi gang, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you very much for joining me. Here we have a live view from the webcam there at Old Faithful. This hill in the back is the Mallard Creek Resurgent Dome. Yellowstone has two resurgent domes. Resurgent domes are when a volcano is recharging for another eruption. It pushes up an area of land because of the magma that's rising up from underneath. And this is the Mallard Lake Resurgent Dome. The largest earthquake they've had within the last 24 hours is a magnitude 3.3 near Stanley, Idaho. There's the area of that earthquake. I'll show you here on the map. Two people said they felt this earthquake. Let me bring it out here. Not far from the Sawtooth Fault, where in 2020 they had a 6.5. This fault goes all the way down to the Snake River Plateau. You can see the direction of the fault movement. Let me bring it out right there. And this is the areas of past eruptions of Yellowstone. These past eruptions literally blew the mountains out. USGS is reporting 9 earthquakes within the last 24 hours. They had a few of them up there just past Helena, Montana. Up over here too we have Missoula, Montana. That is where Monkey Weir showed the video of the M3.3 missiles being transported, probably for the silos. There is nuclear silos up in this area. My ex-husband worked at a ranch up there that was owned by Sherman Williams Paint Company. They had cattle and they also had buffalo. Right across from where my ex-husband, who is now deceased, lived, across the river, maybe a stone's throw away, was one of the nuclear silos. My daughter said it was so close to the house that he was staying in that if a nuclear missile was fired from that silo, you would be blinded by the light. I briefly touched on in one of my last videos about Yellowstone how if a nuclear bomb was set off on Yellowstone, would it make it erupt? Well, it would depend on how close the magma was to the surface. According to the Billings Gazette, now this is a paper there in Montana, it says the Kremlin declared massive nuclear drills to flex its military muscles, and President Vladimir Putin pledged to protect Russia's national interests against what he sees as encroaching Western threats. The idiots really believe that they can have a limited nuclear war. Now they're in Donbass, which is now called Donetsk. They've been fighting for about 14 years. They are now evacuating women and children and the elderly. Russia has prepared facilities for them, it says here in this article. Russia wanted a promise from Ukraine that they would never join NATO. They feel threatened that NATO countries would be surrounding them on their borders, and this is the main reason why they're going to invade Ukraine. More likely, we'll see if Putin keeps his words to Xi Jinping. He says he won't attack until after the Olympics is done, which is on the 20th, which is 2 days from now. And they are 9 hours ahead of us here, Central Daylight Time. So here is that 3.3 earthquake. USGS, just like all government offices, they only tell you what they want you to know. Earthquakes are continuing there, and there's more than 9 earthquakes within the last 24 hours. A small eruption at Yellowstone or any volcano can happen without any warning whatsoever. Geologists used to believe that there would be signs of an eruption, no matter what the size, but they know now that that's not true, of an increase in uplift of the ground at the resurgent domes. Yellowstone's got 2 resurgent domes, and an increase in earthquakes. They're not currently doing monitoring for the gases that could be coming out of the ground right now, because it's winter, to tell them how close an eruption could be at any given time. So here's one of the monitors. This here is at Holmes Hill. Here's the spectrogram. I'm pulling it down because it's actually a magnitude 3.43. And we'll go to its signature here. It's been fairly quiet the last few hours. Here at the bottom is Maple Creek's monitor. We got one very small quake there. This here is Holmes Hill, and at the top is a borehole for the Madison River area. Let me pull it up. You can see last 3 hours it's been quiet, and we'll go back another 4 hours. And just a few small earthquakes. And I'll go back another 4 hours because this is when there was still activity going on. It's showing up at all 3 monitors. We got one here at 8, maybe 32, 33. I'm going to start with that one. The monitor for Maple Creek has it marked in red, so the computer picked it up in that location and sent a text message to the geologist. But either it's a need to know, they tell you what they want you to know, or they're just not earning their wages. Right there, and we'll go to the spectrogram. It's a small one. That comes in as a magnitude 1.83. Let me pull it down a little bit farther so you can see it. Right there. You know, they said when they started having magnitude 2s, then they'd be worried. And there's been a lot of magnitude 2s of late. But this is only a magnitude 1.83. We have another one marked in red. Yeah, look at that. 7 o'clock around there. It got a long P wave, a very long P wave. Alaska had a 3.5 at 7 o'clock and 30 seconds. I don't see anything globally. I really doubt that's the earthquake. Let me look at the signature. Yeah, it's harmonic tremors. I don't know if I can make that bigger for you. It wasn't globally. I already looked up that. Yeah, this built up to an earthquake that they're not reporting. See, we got harmonic and volcanic tremors. See how they're slightly rounded at the top? And the up and down, that's harmonic. See, I don't see anything globally that occurred around that time. Let's see, we got Honduras, but that was yesterday, Universal Time. Yeah, and that's all they're showing. And then locally, yeah, there was one in Nevada. That was later. Yeah, Florida. Let me find that one. At Disney World. Yeah, Wilderness Preserve. When I was there at Disney World last year, this was probably one of the best areas of the park. Yeah, I suspect they were adjusting the machine or something, or maybe one of the crocodiles bumped up against the machine. I don't know. But we got one, yeah, some small stuff that's going on there, or went on there. Yeah, so if you ever go to Disney World, make sure you go to, the animal park part of the park. That was actually the best, better than any other area of the park. Epcot Center, oh, that was a waste of time. Alright, we got another one marked in red. 2319, that they're not reporting to. It went for a long time. I shortened up the signature and I come up with a magnitude 1.87. It was probably larger, maybe a 2. The different colors, dark blue means cold. And the darker the colors, such as red, yellow, that's pockets of melt showing the magma that's coming up. Hot water and hot gases that come up with the different earthquakes. Then we got another one marked in red. Looks like blobs of magma were coming in. Look at that. That's an actual scientific term. Blobs of magma. See the lighter color up here? Yeah, hot steam and gases coming up with that earthquake. And they're rounded, so that was a volcanic tremor. You can do a Google search. Volcanic tremors, a type of continuous rhythmic ground shaking, different from dessert-shaped jolts, characteristics of an earthquake. These low-frequency earthquakes, which vibrate slower than the first type, happen when molten rock invades spaces between rock and form magma-filled cavities. I'll give you links to everything I'm talking about. Here we got tectonic, the plate movement type of earthquakes. Shallow volcanic. See how they're rounded at the top? Surface events. Generally you have, slow, like traffic. It starts out small and gets louder. And then harmonic tremors. See how they're rounded? With the need to know society we have here within the governments, plural, if you really want to know information, you have to research it yourself. So let's make this bigger. See that? See how it's rounded at the top? Now the hot spot for Yellowstone is slowly moving northeast. And because of the movement of the continents, see how it's a little bit sharper? So we got the movement of the plate. And if I make it bigger, you can see how it's rounded. See that? Alright, we got another one marked in red. You can see all the little ones. Let's see. We got one right there at 9:33. Not being reported. It's got a little bit of a P wave on it. My program's acting up for some reason, so I thought I'd take a look at the webcam. They just had an earthquake there, and this geyser in the back basin is shooting off, and they're taking a close look at it. That's it right there. Let me pull that. Right there. That's the one that just occurred. I might have to reload the program. It's stuck in this position. It's really a pain in the butt to have to reload the program because I got to put all these files back in there. Alright, where was I? Alright, the monitor for Maple Creek. Alright, that comes in as a magnitude 2.07, which they are not reporting. And we'll look at its signature. Let's make this bigger. Harmonic tremors and volcanic tremors. Alright, another one marked in, well, there's lots of them marked in red. Let's pull this up. Blobs of magma here. Volcanic tremors. It's recharging. We got an earthquake there. Let's look at its signature. Volcanic tremors with harmonic tremors. 2033. Not being reported. That harmonic and volcanic tremors again. At, 2035. And then, there's more marked in red there. They don't want people to panic. I've been asked, why do they not report the earthquakes? Well, they want people to visit the park, continue buying property, go to work, not panic, not buy up all the toilet paper. That's another thing. They're currently raising the prices of toilet paper. The only reason they would be doing that is they're expecting another panic buying. And that's because of some kind of event that will trigger the response and people freaking out and running out and buying up supplies. Cornell announced they're going to raise their prices in June, but the toilet paper with the bear on it, I want to say Charmin, that's already going up. It had gone up yesterday here in South Dakota. And I posted on Twitter, and of course I got one troll that was saying, well, it's not high here in Sacramento, California. Another post from Michigan. It had risen, but not a lot. And I said, well, I'm just letting you know what's happening here in South Dakota. Maybe it's a test run to see how far they can raise the price. But I'm just giving you a heads up of what is happening and what will be occurring in other areas of, across the United States. Another example of mindset of people. When the coronavirus was going on and all those people lost their jobs, were forced to either work from home, study, school from home, businesses shut down, that did not affect the stock market in one little bit. But now that we got the threat of war, for the last 2 weeks, the stock market has been dropping. 2047, another earthquake that's not being reported, 1.84. See, this earthquake at 23.20 shows up at the borehole for Madison River. Not really so much at Maple Creek, but Holmes Hill it shows up. Yeah, we got blobs of magma coming in here. Let me make that bigger. Let's take a look at the signature. Yeah, see, rounded. Volcanic tremors. People need to be prepared for any type of disaster. Let's say you have a fire, or tornadoes, or flooding. If you're not prepared for disasters, then you can't help other people. You can't even help yourself. Yeah, off to the FEMA camp for you. I'm prepping, and I'm prepping for my family. I do have 1 pound bag of beans and 1 pound bag of rice. I don't want people to know what my stocks are. So if they come to me begging for food, I'll give them a bag of rice or a bag of beans. But otherwise, I'm sorry, but my family comes first, and the rest of the people, they're on their own. Yeah, you've had plenty of time to prepare for fires, or tornadoes, or floods, you name it, volcanic eruptions. Cold-hearted? No, I'm not going to take food out of my grandchildren's mouth just because people were too lazy, playing on the internet, playing the video games, hanging out with their friends or at the bar, going to concerts. Yeah, we've had plenty of time to prepare. It's never too late to start. Never too late to start. Go out and get a couple packages of Top Ramen, get a couple packages of beans. They're like $1.50 for 1 pound bag of beans and rice. No excuse not to prepare. But anyways, that's all I have for you right now. They only tell you what they want you to know. They would assume to decrease the world's population for many reasons. What are your thoughts? Please put those comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe. Please get prepared. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.